Those of you that have watched some of my videos know that I'm a big fan of topwater lures. They can be very effective in catching some pretty quality fish. Some of the largest fish I have caught over the years, especially trout, have been caught on topwater lures. I thought today I would go over some of my fishing lures and some of the techniques that I use to use topwater. To begin with, you will notice very quickly that my favorite lures, my favorite topwater lures, are usually white or light colored. I have found over the years that they are the most productive. Another thing that I'd like to point out is I don't fish with small lures. I fish with the larger size topwater lures. And there's two reasons for that. If you're using small lures, you'll catch small fish. If that's what you wish to do, that's okay. If you're fishing for trout to take home, use a smaller lure, you'll catch more fish. But a lot of them will be small. You'll also catch small pinfish and other fish that you don't really want to catch. Another reason that I avoid small topwater lures is because if you catch a quality size fish, a large trout or large redfish, and you have no interest in keeping it, sometimes those larger fish will take that lure deep into their gullet, and you might have to sacrifice the fish just to get your lure back. So that's why I use larger lures. The first lure that I want to show you today is a hidden one knocker spook. Bone colored body, big red eyes, and some markings on the body, silver markings. A very productive lure for me over the years. It resembles a finger mullet. The areas where I fish are usually full of mullet, large mullet and what we call finger mullet. And the lures that I use will mimic those finger mullet. The second lure that I want to show you is made by Mirror Lure. It's called CI something another, and I'll put a description of these lures on the video when I edit it to give you the exact names. Red head, big eyes, white body with some silver markings on it to resemble scales. Very effective lure. This lure right here has caught me some nice fish over the past year. I'm a big fan of bomber lures, and bomber lure make a line called Padonkadonk, and they're one of my favorite lures. This one, similar to the Mirror Lure, has a red head, white body with markings on it. Now all of these lures are going to have a rattle in them. Every topwater lure that I use, I make sure that it makes the noise. This has been a very, very effective lure for me. And the last lure is my absolute favorite. It's a Padonkadonk also in the bone color. Black eyes with a red circle around it. This particular lure right here over the past year has caught me several large trophy-sized fish. A trout in the 27-inch range and many redfish above 22 inches. Last week I went and bought a new one of these because this one is so scarred up. It's got a lot of teeth marks on it. It's discolored, and I figured it was time to replace it. I don't think I want to throw this one away though, because it's brought me such good luck in the past year. I'm afraid that if I throw it out that that good luck will go away. I'm not superstitious, don't believe that. An important part of using topwater lures is the retrieve. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside by the pool and make a few casts and show you those different retrieves. I use basically 3 different retrieves, and I'll show those to you now. First retrieve I'm going to show you is called walking the dog. And it's achieved by reeling and bumping your rod back and forth. Let me point my camera down so you can see my rod. After I cast my lure, I let it sit for just a second, and then I'll start working it. I want to mention that you can do this easier from a boat, because if your rod is down, it keeps the head of the lure from popping out of the water. The next retrieve I use routinely is a modification of the walk the dog. I'll walk the dog for a little bit, pause it. Walk the dog for a little bit, pause it. And at this point I want to mention one thing that's just crucially important with topwater, is that you continue your retrieve all the way to the boat. Whatever you're using, don't stop it until you get within a few feet of the boat or kayak, because many times that fish will follow that lure all the way in. Okay, the next retrieve is a little bit of a modification of walk the dog, but I'll do a bump it twice. When I'm reeling, I've got my finger on the right side of the rod. That lets me give it a little more control and more of a bounce. I can't do it like that. My finger has to be like that right there. Okay, to sum it up, best retrieves: walking the dog, keeping your rod low, your finger to the right of the rod, and just bouncing the rod tip like so. Variation of walk the dog: walk it a few feet, stop it. Walk it a few more feet, stop it. And then the twitch, pause. 2 to 3 times. I've gone through some of my videos from the last year or so and edited out some scenes where I've caught some very nice fish using these particular lures. So let's get to that video now and see what you think. Big trout. Big trout. Big trout. 23 inches. Whoa! I hope you heard that, because boy, that was an explosion. Whoa. I think this is a redfish sweat shaking its head. Uh, 25.5 inches. Okay, and away he goes. Whoa! It came out of the water to get that. Must be a skipjack. Oh, big trout. 24 inches. Go live another day. What did I get? A huge trout. A huge trout. A huge trout. Holy mackerel. This is a monster trout. My kayak is 29 inches wide, and he is almost as wide as my kayak. I'm gonna let you go. Get a picture. Is that a monster? Is that a monster? Wow. Boy, I sure hope my camera was running. Brought it right to the boat. As you can see, you can catch some quality fish on topwater lures. It's a lot of fun. The explosion that you get when a fish comes up and takes that lure, it just makes my day when that happens. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and y'all take care, and I hope to see you sometime soon with some more new videos. Thank you very much for watching.